Alright, Battle of the Brews here for round 4. Both these players are very well-known brewers at our humble little store here. We saw both of these players in earlier rounds, actually. Jelle playing his signature Elder Deep-Fae. Now, if you haven't seen the deck in action, I would definitely recommend you check out some of his other games, but to give you a short summary, the deck is a mono-blue deck that tries to gain a massive tempo advantage using either Elder Deep-Fiend or Mistbind Click, tapping a bunch of lands and closing out the game that way. On the right side we have Jerryt here playing Grixis Arcanist, a bit of an older deck for sure. There was a lot of hype when Dreadhorde Arcanist was first announced. It did a lot of things in Legacy where it eventually had to be banned, but never really took off in Modern as much. Brainstorm and Ponder definitely making Dreadhorde Arcanist a lot better. But despite that, it's still a deck that, as we have seen, is able to do a lot of work. And this is table 1, so both these decks are at the top of the evening here. Both these players know each other quite well. They know each other's deck quite well. We have Repeal coming out for Jelle here, gonna bounce the Dreadhorde Arcanist as well as drawing a card. He also appears to have a Riptide Laboratory on the field, which is able to bounce wizards, which is very relevant as a lot of fairies that Jelle's deck plays are wizards. Most notably things like the clicks, Spellstutter Sprite, also just Fairy Seer to pick it up, and then Scry again. We have Inquisition coming down here. Gonna reveal. Let's see, Fairy Seer, Mistbind Click, Elder Deep-Fiend, Spell Pierce, and another Repeal. Feels like we've been here before. Have we been here before? Just like that Thoughtseize revealed most of the same cards. But notably, Jelle is a bit behind on mana here. No 4th land to try and get a Mistbind Click into play here. Also, if Jerryt decides to take the Fairy Seer, the Mistbind Click may not even come down for some time. So opts not to, instead takes Repeal. Probably thinks he can answer the Fairy Seer before Jelle is able to untap with enough mana to play it. And he might be right in that. Jelle decides to play the Fairy Seer nonetheless. Could have opted not to quite yet, but I don't think Jelle has much of a choice, as he really needs the Scry, really needs the extra land. But it does leave him quite vulnerable to a removal spell from Jerryt here. If the Fairy Seer dies, then Jelle is not able to protect it with Riptide Laboratory, because it takes 1 and a blue to pick it up. So yeah, if the Fairy Seer dies here, Jelle is in a very bad position. And even if it lives, Jelle is not in the greatest of positions. He really needs some more mana. A lot more mana. Dreadhorde Arcanist is going to attack, is going to flash back the Inquisition, which is going to get Spell Pierced. But we are paying for the Spell Pierce. No, wait, is he casting the Spell Pierce? not sure, but we have just another Thoughtseize coming out here. Like, Jerryt is solidly in the driver's seat here. Jelle is just stumbling and fumbling. Jerryt going to fetch an island and play a second Dreadhorde Arcanist, and I think we are probably going to game 2 real fast. Maybe we find the 4th land, but no. No, we don't find the 4th land, and we just go straight to game 2. And Jerryt on a mulligan to 6, starting us off in game 2. Now, from the sideboard, this Relic of Progenitus is staring me in the face right now. Relic is definitely a card that I could see do a lot of work against Grixis Arcanist here. Just turning off that incredible value engine that is Dreadhorde Arcanist in this deck. Serum Visions going top bottom. Other than that, maybe some creature removal. Mono blue means you have rapid hybridization, which is not the greatest, so maybe we don't see that being brought in here, as it basically turns the creature into a 3/3 with no effects. I could see Chalice of the Void being brought in here. That one is a lot better against Jerryt, as we have seen in previous games. And then on the side of Grixis, not really all that much, I have to say. Maybe some creature removal. Maybe something Jerryt just had lying around that is surprisingly really relevant in this matchup for some reason, but we'll have to see. Now we have a second Young Pyromancer coming down for Jerryt here. Young Dr. Pepper is going to come in for 2. No tokens yet. Wrong life total. Repeal on the second one is going to draw a card. Looks like Jelle has a lot more cards. More lands than he did last game. Looks like he is going to use Relic of Progenitus to start eating his own graveyard. Probably somewhat scared of Drown in the Loch here. Not an unreasonable thing to consider. Absolutely. Very Seer gonna scry 2 cards to the bottom. That is bad news bears, potentially. Now, Jelle unfortunately doesn't look like he has anything really castable here. So no way to protect the Fairy Seer. Looks like he has a Riptide Laboratory in hand, 2 Mistbind clicks, and an island. If this Fairy Seer dies, then Jelle is still somewhat safe here, as he can still animate the Mutavault, but that would require him to spend 1 more mana and actually get a Mistbind click in here. It's not the worst, and he does have it, absolutely, but to see Young Pyromancer coming down once more. Not the blowout tempo play that Jelle was maybe hoping for, but it's not the worst. Now Thought Scour coming out here, going to make 2 elementals. That is potentially an issue. It's going to mill another Thought Scour and a land. Fill up the graveyard nicely. And just start making dorks. Looks like Unearth was the draw of Thought Scour. Not the relevant card now. But there is a Lightning Bolt, which then comes with 2 power with the creatures on the board. This is a potentially very dangerous spot for Jelle to be in. It's not impossible to overcome, as we have seen on this channel before, but it's going to be a little bit difficult, for sure. Thinking about what to do. Looks like a Mistbind click. I think I heard in your upkeep. It's going to animate the Mutavault to make sure he actually can still play the Mistbind click, as yet it had a Lightning Bolt to get rid of the Fairy Seer. That's why the Mutavault was so important in this situation. Now, it looks like it was during Jelle's turn. He's not going to let Jerryt untap. And a Terminate off the top is going to get rid of Mistbind click. Just a series of unfortunate events for Jelle here. Going to come in for 8. And yeah, just being tempoed out completely. Dreadhorde Arcanist coming in. We're gonna crack the Relic of Progenitus to try and find something real fast. Looks like Dismember is the draw here, but Dismember is not going to really do it here. And Jelle calls it, so the win for this evening goes to Jerryt on Grixis Arcanist.